Good evening, everybody. I know it's late. Um, just chilling out here. I'm doing some. Let me get the clock off because we don't need the clock today. But we're just going to be doing some streaming tonight because I can right now. So I'm going to be doing that, and maybe for an hour or so. And we're just going to chill out a little bit. So let me get my chat up and my restream up. Restream chat and my restream. And update titles, we're going to be doing live Astro photography stream. Okay, there we go. And we're on. Okay, so we're just going to be doing some live streaming here, and we're just working around with the with some Sequence Generator Pro. And if I sound a little tired, I am, so I apologize. And we're going to go like this, move this over. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? Gonna just be doing some live streaming on my Markarian's chain. I'll first time I'm using this kind of thing, we'll do a desktop capture here, and let's see, quick play that, and there we go. And there you go. We got Markarian's chain here. Hey George, how you doing? Let's see. I'm just trying to get some audio going here. Give me a second. Let's see, where's me? JJ Mike. You guys could hear me, right? Let me know if you could hear me. Hi, Nance. How you doing? Okay, so if you guys could hear me, and nobody cares what I look like anyway, so I'm doing a couple of things here right now, and I'll get back to my screen share here. And what we're doing right now is I'm taking some, as you can see in the top right here, the red channel right now I'm doing. I already did a lot of the luminance. But this is Markarian's chain, starting from about here, all the way down, kind of around like this. So this is Markarian's chain. It's a group of galaxies, and we're just taking some images tonight. So let's see, got some volume good, awesome, great, glad to hear it. Yeah, so we're just doing that. I'm using Sequence Generator Pro right now. And we're doing I got really bad skies, so as you can see, these are only 90-second shots in the red only. The luminance, I took 2-minute shots, and what I was actually doing, I was playing around with Sharp Cap, and this is Sharp Cap, and then you could do a live capture or a live stack by doing, instead of doing the camera, do a folder monitor. And we'll clear this out, and you could do a where is it, live stack. Okay, and right here I'll tell you how many stacks, how many frames ignored. We can move this back. We get, right now I got 40 images, and we just hit the play button and it'll start stacking. And it's not really perfect, and you know I have no flats, no darks on here, but you kind of start seeing what we got. See that nice little dust mote right there. And 37, 38, 39, 39. And you can move the sliders back and forth a little bit. And there you go. You could do a little histogram stretch there, and then you could see the flats obviously need to get done. But that gives you an idea of what you're going to get with SharpCap. Now you could add, subtract darts, apply flats on this side over here. I don't have them set up for this because this telescope needs some new darks and flats, because I started taking this at negative 15 degrees Celsius, and all my flats and darks are negative 10, so I need to take more stuff tomorrow. So that's something that I got to take care of. But I'm going to be doing some of this, the Markarian's chain, and we're just going to chill out. Right now, if you want, we could talk a little bit about Sequence Generator Pro and some of my settings. We got some watchers. We got 4 people up really late tonight. So welcome everybody to my live stream of the capture of Markarian's chain. And for those of you that know Sequence Generator Pro, this is kind of what it looks like. It's got your temperature cooler here. I got my PhD graph here, and we can take a look at that real quick. And it looks pretty good. That's pretty good for a Long Island. I'll take that in a second. 0.59, and that's been going on for a long time since I started the sequence. So that's really good. I'll take that all day. I'll take that all day. Anything under 1.5 on Long Island is going to be fine anyway, because the seeing here is garbage. And I'm getting a warning. No, that's okay. No big deal. And we also have multi-star guiding in PhD, so it takes the multi-stars, and it's watching everything just in case a tree or a telephone wire gets in the way. So yeah, so Sequence Generator Pro. I guess the first thing we could kind of look at, picture quality seems a little low. Yeah, I'm having some issues with, looks like I'm having issues with the bit rate. Not sure why it's that low. So hopefully that YouTube will catch up. Let's see if I could see it on YouTube. Let's see. YouTube, my channel. And yeah, it's a little fuzzy. All right. So here again, Sequence Generator. So the first thing you want to do if you're setting up Sequence Generator Pro is going into your Equipment Profile Manager. As you can see here, I have a couple of different profiles. I have a 294 with the Explorer Scientific. I have the ASI 294 and the Esprit. I have the Esprit and my SBIG. And also, I also went a little crazy. I made a sequence of flat darks and no plate cell. So I have another sequence altogether for doing that because I just like letting it run. So I just set up a sequence for that. So if you go under any one of these, we could use the one that I'm using now, which is this one. This is right here, the file naming pattern. This is actually pretty interesting. And it allows you to figure out your file structure. So anything that's separated by a backslash, that's a folder. So, and all these letters stand for something. And if you press this key button, it'll tell you what these codes are for. So %TN is target name. So your target name is, this would be, for me, my target name is Markarian's Chain. So that's my target name. And then I got FT, which is, I believe it's frame type. Look for FT. There it is, frame type. So frame type would be light, dark, bias, flat, dark, whatever. Whatever frame type it is. And then I stopped there. So I put those two as folders, and then I start with the file name. File name keys are separated by an underscore. So I do the target name again because I want that in the file name. I do the frame type again because I want the frame type. EL is exposure length. CT is, what is CT again? Camera temperature. Oh, look at that. I found a problem in my file structure. There you go. FE is filter name. So if you have a filter name, so filter red, blue, green, H alpha, whatever. And then I got date and time on there. And we could say, I'll save that since I made a change. That won't change till my next sequence, so unless if I did it in something called the control panel, if I did it there, then it would change there. Okay, so then you go to the settings. So I got my SBIG camera, and if I was in the settings, if I have any of these settings for SBIG, if I had a guide chip, that's fine. I don't. Most of these things, actually all these things are left as default for me. And I am going to change this to -10 because I want that changed out for the next time I do something. And then you got to figure out your angle, scale, and readout noise. The scale you could actually do from a website called Celestial Wonders. And if you go to Celestial Wonders, image scale, okay? And if you go in there and you put in your pixel size, your focal length, your width, and your height, it'll give you your image scale right here. And then you would just populate that first square for your telescope. And that's my scale for this setup. And then your readout noise and your pixel sizes you can get right from the distributor's website. So make sure you get for your correct camera those two settings. I have a couple of settings set here. I have a cooldown on Camera Connect. I'm going to cool down to -10 and cool down on Sequence Start. So hopefully it'll get to a certain temperature and then make sure it gets to that temperature again when the sequence is started. Moving the filters, I have the SBIG filter wheel, and you can set the filters. So here you put what's in each slot. So I have an 8-position filter wheel. I have luminance, red, green, blue, S2, CLS, HA, and O3. Don't put decimal points in there, that confuses Sequence Generator Pro, so use the underscore. Definitely don't use spaces as well. So if you could get away with it, if you could not use it, that'd be a smart thing. And then settings, what COM port is it on, what kind of filter wheel you have. Focusing, If you have an automated focuser, you could, like I do, you could put in the Moonlight focuser driver or Feather Touch or whatever else you got in there. As far as settings is concerned, it'll pop up. This is what you would see for the Moonlight. You see something like this. Other. So if you want any other focus properties, if you want if you have some backlash issues, I have not had any problems with this, so I leave it all alone. And then you got fine focus, step size, coarse focus, step size. So if you want to fine focus, it'll move 10 steps, coarse focus or 100 steps, and that is actually one of the places where that comes into play is under the focus tab. We can show you that later. The focus tab, so when you're doing a manual focus, you can use the in, out, coarse, and fine buttons. Focus, use autofocus. All this, one of the things that really annoyed me about this is the auto close delay. I think it's automatically set at 10 seconds. It's just dreadful to wait. I changed it to 5. I could probably change it to less than that. All of this stuff is going to be different based on your setup and your focuser. These will not work if you have, unless you have a 2.5-inch Moonlight focuser, CFL. Then this might work for you. It usually will for that type of focuser. But after anything else, you're going to have to kind of play hit and miss, and unless you find someone else that has. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That has the same equipment that I do. I focus every 1 degree of change. I autofocus on a filter change and autofocus before sequence start. I don't bother with the dark subtraction, and I don't save any of the packages. So that's that. Auto adjust focus per filter. And for frame and focus, when you're doing a manual frame and focus, what your base exposure time and binning is. Now, I don't have binning on mine, but I could kind of fake it. But that's that. So a telescope, if you have a center mount like I do, HEQ5, HEQ6, EQ6R Pro, so on and so forth, you could use EQ Mod, which is what I do. I don't use the Skywatcher. I don't want to hit this because that'll mess me up. So this is got a park telescope with sequence complete, so it's automatically go to the north position, and I do an auto meridian flip. So when it hits a meridian after I think 5 minutes, 1 minute past meridian. So as soon as the meridian flip happens, I tell it to flip. Thought I had it up to 5 minutes, but I do 1 minute. Mount settling time, and you want to put in your focal length. Excuse me. Sorry, down to 2 watching. Everyone's leaving me. Do we have anybody on Restream? Just Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Okay. Plate solving. I use Plate Solve 2. I use maximum regions when I'm doing a search, because in case my polar alignment's off or my park position is off, it will keep going until it finds a match. For plate solving, I use bin 2x2 and exposure at 10 seconds. I could probably change its error is less than 200 pixels since I'm not up here, but usually I find that's pretty good. Auto guiding. PHD2, I dither every 3 frames. Probably going to change that to every 2 or 1 now. I pause guiding during image download, and I stop the auto guider when sequence complete. Switches is something fairly new. I haven't kind of played around with this yet, so I'm looking forward to kind of playing with these switches, especially with the Prima Luce. And then other manual flat box. This should be a manual rotator, and click Save, and OK. And then you're all set for that. Next is the user. Put in anything you want, so you can put your observer name, site name, elevation, latitude, longitude. Make sure you change this to west because we're in the west, not the east. And you can save it. And it'll pop up here. So let's see what we have in the guiding again. Still looking good. I got a couple of dithers in there. I think there's 1 and 2. That'll get better as time goes on again, but I'll take that. Because you know what? The bottom line is, how does your image look? And if you zoom on in and you look at the stars, are your stars still round? Yes, they are. So you won't have to worry about that. Let's go back in here. Oh, it's actually stacking the ones. It's continuing to stack them. Let's move this up a little bit. Move this in a little bit. There you go. Well, I'm going to go outside and take a look and see where the telescope's pointing, because I know it's getting close to the telephone wires. So I will be back. Alright, I'm back. And did it start during the green? Because if so, I'm going to stop it here because it did. So I'm going to pause it here and abort the current sequence because it's coming to the point where I'm going to hit the trees. So I'm going to go to... Do I have one? I thought I had one. Wow, I don't. Okay. Alright, we're going to make a new sequence. Sequence, reset. Window, tools, equipment pro, where is it? Tools. Framing a mosaic wizard. And we're going to do the rest of the night, we're going to do M51. Okay, make my square. Put it right there. And we're just going to rotate it. We don't need to rotate it like that. Okay. create sequence, and M51, that's fine. Okay, M51, and we're going to do luminance RGB, luminance RGB, and light luminance, light red, red light, green light, blue light. We'll do 2 minutes, and we'll just do 2 minutes across the board. That looks to be pretty good. Okay, and then we're going to do this till 4 a.m. So it's a little over 3 hours. So let's see, let's do 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. Now we get 3:30. Now let's go 25, 25, 25, 25. That's 5 in the morning. 20, 20, 20. That's better. That's about 3 hours. That's fine. And we're just going to run the sequence. It's slowing right now. And it's going to focus. I may have to run outside to do a quick rotation. So Aaron, I find in my backyard, I mean, I could probably do up to 5 because I have a mono camera, but if I'm doing one-shot color, I would probably be in the 30 seconds to a minute range, probably, depending on how bad the light is. I like 2 minutes on Long Island. I think that's kind of good for me. If I'm doing on narrowband, that's something else. I've done up to 10 minutes narrowband and not had a problem. But again, there's something to be said about using a nice mono camera as opposed to one-shot color. Not trying to say that one-shot color isn't going to get you outstanding returns, but really depends on what your Bortle sky is and what light pollution are you battling with, to be honest with you. Bortle 7. Well, I'm an 8 plus. So that being said, what's going on with my focus routine? They must have messed around with it a little bit. Come on back up. Bortle 7. Try 3 minutes if you're doing mono. See what it looks like. If you're starting to get a washed out gray sky, back it off a little bit. You don't want to start washing out your entire picture just to get, you could get really good results if you take shorter exposures and just take a lot more of them. But nothing beats a pure dark sky, to be honest with you. But you're in almost the same situation I'm in. It really all depends on on your setup and your camera, your DSLR color. So DSLR color, wow, probably 2 minutes. I would say 2 minutes or less. What is going on? What is going on with my focus? What is going on? Abort. Yes. See, this is what happens when things get all messed up here. Go away. Clear. Yes. Go away. Yeah, I hear you. You know, a dark sky is a wonderful thing. So, if you get to a dark sky, that would be the way to go. Yeah, no problem, Aaron. I mean, it really is, being in Nassau County on Long Island at the horrible light pollution that we're at, um, you're really battling with really bad skies. And if you could get away with it, get as high as you can before you start getting that gray sky. Because once you start getting the gray sky, you can't get that back. Or you can, but it's going to take a lot of processing. Right now, I'm just trying to see where my focus is out of whack a little bit. Let's see if that worked. Something's weird with my focus machine. So hold on. Sometimes things don't work as good as they should, but especially when you change positions in the sky. Yeah, it's really interesting on how dark images can start. Like when you get that dark black sky, um, something's not doing, something's not working right. I might be pointing too straight up. Hmm. That's gonna fail on me here. Might have to tighten up the clutch. Yeah, this is being silly. Um, yeah, and take really good calibration frames, Aaron. Take really good darks, flats. If you could take flat darks or bias, either one. Um, Yeah, I know it. I know it failed. That's kind of the way to do it. Make sure you got really good calibration fittings. Redo your calibration fittings probably, you know, every 3 months or so, changing of the weather. Um, that will help you out quite a bit, I think. Yeah, something's not right. I'll be back. That's definitely not right. Let's see, take one. Whoa. That's why it's failing. Yeah, with the flats, just make sure that you have. That's the wrong way. Make sure you have the right ADU on your flats. I don't know if you know anything about ADU, but you want to make sure that that you're somewhere about, I guess, about 40% of your full histogram. You want to be about 40% of it. So, you know, a little bit to the left on the histogram. Usually about, so if your full well is 65,000 electrons, you want to be somewhere in about 30 range. Ooh, 3/4 of your ADU is way too high, my friend. Way too high. Yeah, way too high. Yeah, 3/4 to 75%, way too high. I'm just trying to get close to focus here. This will normally do it by itself, but yeah, that would do it, man. You're probably blasting your big circle is probably overexposing the middle. Okay, so let's try that. Hey, Mark. What's going on, man? Just playing around. Just playing around on Sequence Generator Pro. Trying to figure out why my focuser, I think, yeah, see, sometimes it just doesn't want to go back up. Don't understand that. Yeah, well, I was doing fine until I moved objects. Alright, let's try something else. I'm curious. Let's try, I know I have. I'm curious to see. There we go. Why does that do that? Red, green, blue. And we're slewing. Yeah, you were telling me, Mark. That's crazy. I'm not sure why that does that, but let's see. Well, there it is. That was weird. Maybe got a little backlash playing around. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think let's try that. Just playing around, hanging out. Oh, it's quick. Hopefully I don't have to go outside and rotate. I don't want to have to go outside again. Nice. Resuming the auto guide. We'll clear it. Because we're on the other side now. And let's get rid of this guy. And we're going to take our first image. Man, you know, how many power supplies are you going to have? You know, Mark. I mean, we do the power supplies, and then someone says you need a separate power supply for the mount, blah, blah, blah. Right now, I'm doing M3 right now, just for playing around, just trying to get some lights. I haven't gotten lights in a long, long time. So I just happen to be over my roof of my house, and so I figured I'd get it. I got Markarian's chain in the beginning, but whatchamacallit? But it started to go in front of some telephone lines, so I stopped. Now I just moved to M3 because I don't have an M3 by itself. So. And if this looks good, then I'm going to go to bed and let it run all night. How's my guiding going? I'll take that. No, this isn't with the new scope. This is with the 80 Esprit still. I got the new scope sitting right behind me. I'm waiting on one more adapter. And let's see what this looks like. And does the... That looks pretty good. I might be overexposing though. I may not like that. Let's pause it. Let's put this back up. And we're going to change this to 1 minute. And 1 minute. And 1 minute. Quit that. And then resume. And we'll try a 60-second shot. I think I'm overexposing the core, so. That might be even too much. That changes to 30 seconds. I got it in on time, so. For one-shot color, Aaron, yeah, I mean, I use the Batter Moon and Sky Glow. The L Pro is very good as well. If you want to go crazy, you can get the IDAS. But yeah, I mean, if you're doing one-shot color, I would definitely strongly suggest you get a light pollution filter for your camera. Yeah, absolutely. That looks a little better. Yep, see, there you go. Mark just said the same thing. Personally, I like the Batter. I have the L Pro and the Batter Moon and Sky Glow, and this is where Mark and I are going to disagree. I think the in post processing, I find that the Batter Moon and Sky Glow gives better color correction on the stars than the L Pro. The L Pro kind of everything from out to long gives like this red tinge to me. But I think I'm going to keep this at 30 seconds. The IDAS is a little bit more expensive, but it's a lot more restrictive, and it does a really good job, especially with badly polluted skies. Like you're in sevens, you're in a Bortle 7, I'm in an 8. I'm telling you right now, either all three of them will do a good job, to be honest with you. But take a look at the IDAS. If money's no option, get the IDAS. It's really not that much more expensive, but it is a little bit better from what I've seen. I've never owned an IDAS. I have owned the L Pro and the Batter. They're both really good too. So they're both about $200. So for the 2-inch. I think this seems to be running pretty good. Stars look good. They look like they're in focus. Yeah, the L Pro is really popular. It really is. That's probably why it has been a star color. So, all right. Let me just change, because I think this is going to be over an hour. That's not going to be good enough. So, 50, 50, 50. Really? That's it? 70, 70, 70. That should be fine. We'll do that. And on that note, I am going to go to bed because I think this is going to run fine. Check my guiding real quick. That'll be fine. So I thought that the center of the core of the globular cluster was a little bit blown out. In order to make it easier to differentiate between different stars in the core, I just wanted to get a little bit less. I'll take more images at a less exposure, so I'm able to differentiate after stacking. Exactly, Aaron. Globular clusters are a little bit different of an object. Um, that core is really important. Now there are other ways to do it. You could do a 2-minute exposure and a bunch of 30-second exposures, and you could do an HDR composition in PixInsight, and it will help adjust and kind of make up for that blown out core. It'll take that 30-second exposure and plop it on top of the 2-minute exposure, so you're able to get the core. There's a good video. I know that Sean Nielsen from Visible Dark, who's a friend of mine, put a video out, and I believe there's another one by Chuck at Chuck's Astrophotography that how to fix a blown out part of an object, and they both focused on M42 and the trapezium in there, where if you take too many photos or too many long exposures of it, then you could tend to blow out the center and blow out that nice core that you have. But through HDR composition, you're able to save that core by taking some lower exposure of that core, and then plop that on top, and it actually makes masks and everything and feathers it real nice. So yeah, I think that's going to be good. All right, guys. Well, on that note, I'm going to go to bed. It's 1:30, and I'm going to let this run, and I will catch you guys next time. Hopefully, we'll have another night. This is the first night in New York we've had for a while, so hopefully that will work. All right, guys. Let me switch back over to Bam. And where's Dan? There we go. Quick play. There we go. So that's pretty much it. We will see you guys later, and if you want to, you can. And if I can get it up here, I will. AstroWorld logo, no. Jason title, social third. Yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to hit us up and check out the website at www.astroworldweb.com. Or if you have any email questions, you want to email me, feel free. You can either do it at info@astroworldweb.com or dan@astroworldweb.com. You could do that. And don't forget also to check us out on all the other social media stuff that we got going on. And if I can find that too, social lower third, there we go. Nope, not that one. There we go, but I need to there we go. And that's the other stuff that we have going on. So that's AstroWorld TV on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and now we're also on Twitch. So thanks for checking it out, guys. Mark, I know I'll talk to you soon. Aaron, thanks for hanging out. And see you guys on Monday night for the next show, Q&A for beginners. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.